Well, our first Grow Brooklyn Festival was a year ago, so we wanted to have them back again to see how they've grown, if you will. This year, the theme is diversity through food, something I can promise you everyone around here can get behind as it is lunchtime. Now, the festival happens a week from Saturday at St. John's Recreation Center in Crown Heights, and it underscores the benefits of healthy and locally grown food.
Yeah, it does. That includes teaching children about the sustainability and the environment. So this is one place where you'll find kids happy to be seen with vegetables. Now, from the two community groups who organized the Grow Brooklyn Festival in partnership with New York City Parks, we want to welcome back Ms. Joyce Bolden, who happens to be the president of the St. John's Senior Group. Lovely to see you again, ma'am.
It's good to see you
You
also.
look phenomenal. And Agathe Blanchon-Ehrsam, the co-founder of Friends of Garden Kitchen Lab. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
We love the work you do, first of all. Happy that you're back for a second year. It's growing season, right?
It is growing season, and I want to
Thank you
know
for having us back.
what you're growing by leaps and bounds.
Absolutely.
Can you tell our viewers who may be unfamiliar, what is the Grow Brooklyn Festival?
Do you want to tell them about the Grow?
Why don't you start by giving a couple details and then...
Well, first of all, we at St. John's Recreation Center have a senior group of which you mentioned that I'm a president. But now what we're doing is that working in concert with the group, with the children, teaching them the importance of how to grow, what to grow, because it teaches them what to eat. So we're loving this because we work together. The children come into the center, and we have loads of seniors there that are involved in activities there. So that's how we get involved with the group.
Intergenerational.
There you go.
Yes.
And so the
You
festival...
introduced a kitchen lab to that, too.
Yeah, no, so kind of the festival is an opportunity to share a lot of the activities and learnings and kind of incredible gardening activities and culinary skills that the kids learn during the after-school program. Right. And the festival is this one-time opportunity next Saturday in about 10 days to come and have a fun, kind of great fun activity, fun afternoon of kind of gardening, learning all about urban gardening, cooking activities, tasting demos, and some kind of arts and crafts and science and tech activities as well.
So how is this year's festival different from last year's?
So this year we wanted to bring back some of the great activities, but then underscore the kind of diversity of the Crown Heights neighborhood and the entire Brooklyn borough. And so we made sure to invite organizations that really reflected that diversity. We've got, for example, the UN farm garden that exists on the top of the UN building. Cool. And they're going to demonstrate, for example, the many, kind of the 100 varieties of peppers that are grown around the world and how they're used and the different recipes they're used in, and you'll get to taste some of those. Yeah. I didn't
know there was a garden on top of the
It's pretty cool. It's the only garden in New York City that's on international soil.
Wow.
And they have fantastic food and produce from kind of all over the world, from Japan, from Korea, from South America.
All right, so Ms. Bolden, the last time you were here, you gave me some tips about placement since I'm like on the less sunny side of the street and I was trying to grow stuff. So what are you growing this year in the garden with the seniors and the young folks?
Well, we're growing some.
We've got, tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
We've got basil. We've got
She knows.
zucchini, herbs.
Do you have to have a green thumb to sort of participate in these things? 'Cause, sometimes people always feel like they're the person that's going to ruin everything and sort of kill it. And I don't know, how do you sort of just get people?
To some extent you do, but it's really not
you
compulsory in having a green thumb. It's good to have one, helps.
I think you need to get a couple tips, and the festival is a great place to do that. We're going to be handing out plant seedlings, so you can pick up some basil or some lettuce, and we'll be teaching you how to transplant that into your garden and giving you tips on how to make sure your plants grow and thrive.
Urban planting, gardening.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's totally a thing.
And some composting and all of that jazz to complete the cycle. So what are you most excited about for the upcoming festival?
I'm most excited about seeing the development of the plant growth directly outside of the building, because for years that I've been going to the center, it was not there.
Right.
There was nothing there. So to progress from last year to this year and to see the seniors sneak in and go pick things.
Yeah.
we have fun doing it, and then when the children come in the afternoon. So that's what I'm happy to see, and the fact that now on May 20th, they can go and taste a variety of different food.
Yeah.
Some from Afghanistan, Venezuela, Peru. And,
Wow.
oh yes, so they're going to
It's a
be
real
involved.
living garden.
Exactly.
So I have to talk about this garden. Can you tell us exactly what is the Garden Kitchen Lab?
Yeah, so it's a program that was started 3 years ago by somebody named Fabiola Caceres, who brings her love of gardening and her desire for sharing how to get kind of nutritious food in a locally grown manner to the community. So she brought all of that passion to the after-school program at St. John's Center and started advocating to transform some of the space that was in front of the center into an urban garden.
Yeah.
So there are now raised beds that are cultivated by the kids that come after school and water and prune and take care of the garden, and then that kind of with the produce, the fruit, the vegetables, the herbs, they then take that to the kitchen, and that's the garden kitchen part of the Garden Kitchen Lab.
That's phenomenal.
And get to experiment, get to find out how to use some of these herbs, how to incorporate them into some of the daily recipes that they might know from home or from other places. And so get to kind of find out how to make food more nutritious, how to feel comfortable with vegetables and foods
So
that.
do you actually sort of witness their growth? Because it's hard. I'm sorry, I don't have children. I have nieces and nephews, and I'm like, eat your vegetables, and they're like just looking at me sometimes like, you're my uncle, like you ain't gonna do nothing. Like, I mean, do you actually see a change of behavior? Like, just casually
I
they're
grew this.
just grabbing something and just instead of grabbing chips, they're just. I mean, do you actually see the change in behavior, right?
A huge piece of
And how
it
long
is-
does that take?
It takes a while.
Takes a while. Fair
a
enough.
huge. Everybody talks about the fact that you just need to be exposed
That's all
to
it
these
is, that's
foods,
all it is.
Yes.
and being able to just understand where they come from, being able to be part of the process, and that's exactly what the program teaches.
Well, speaking of that, no, please. You want
And
to
so, because what you can do with vegetables now that people were not practicing before, like for instance kale,
Yeah.
you can make kale very crispy,
Oh, yeah.
like it's potato
Kale chips. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
see, so children were not exposed to these kinds of variety of eating vegetables before.
Now, were you exposed to these sort of things? Because sometimes things go in cycles. Is this more of a return to, how people used to eat before there was a bodega on every corner, or has there always been a bodega on every corner in New York? Was it always that way?
It wasn't always
It
that
wasn't?
way, No.
I don't believe you.
No. But I was exposed to vegetables, however, not at this level, not at what I just described to you.
Yeah.
But when I raised my children, I exposed them to vegetables. They didn't want to eat the vegetables. I don't like that. I said, no, you have to eat the vegetables. Yeah, they didn't like it. But I encouraged them because I would make a variety of things that I would prepare for them, and they forced it down because couldn't throw it
My
away.
mother didn't. I couldn't leave the dining room table until I ate my vegetables.
Yes.
Well, if
that's
you
right.
had things from Afghanistan and Peru and all
Right.
around the world, that's like the world is on a plate for you.
And we've got a number of different organizations. We have 17 organizations that are going to be coming to the festival in order to
Oh, man.
kind of
That's
help
a
share some
feast.
activities.
Yeah.
And one of them is going to have a table specifically on recipes that you can do with your children. So getting them involved in actually making the food and making it fun and
Oh, yeah, because you have to get the parents involved too.
Yes.
'Cause the children can't. Okay.
yeah.
But the kids lead the parents a lot, especially when they get to come and
Yes.
hang out in the afternoon and say,
Yes.
"Mom, look, callaloo! Like, what is that?"
And when they see
Amazing.
everybody eating bags of chips and things that they would like to eat, but it's good to expose them to. It takes a while.
And the one thing I would say to the parents, because sometimes parents are very adverse. Don't think it's just the kids.
Yes,
Parents don't
exactly.
eat the vegetables. That's why the
Exactly.
kids don't eat the vegetables.
Right.
Your taste buds do change. So just because you tried something when you were a child and you said, I don't like that, if you have not tried it in the last 5 years, you actually have no idea
Right.
whether you like it or not. So I just
Yes.
have to say that.
The
Go ahead and
taste
eat a
buds
Brussels
do
sprout.
change. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you out at the garden for the festival on the 20th. Yes.
The
Yes.
20th of May, rain or
It's
shine.
going to be a busy day.
Rain or
11
shine.
to 4.
Rain or shine.
All right, Grow Brooklyn. We
Good to
love
be
it.
back
Thank
again,
you for
yes.
coming.